time, the shock is nearly too much to bear. For decades, Jim Jones and Chrissy Lannon were the couple that everyone thought they knew. Their constant cycle of love and disappointment, their highs and lows, their disagreements and makeups. Everything happened in front of the cameras. Supporters thought they had witnessed every possible turn, but no one, not even Jim, was ready for this. A recent revelation that shocked society has gone viral on social media like a ticking time bomb, only moments after Chrissy's secret sadness. In addition to getting married, Chrissy is also expecting a kid. Indeed, precisely. Now that pregnancy rumors have been verified, the repercussions are dire. Jim's silence was too much. Mama Jones is already using slurs driven by alcohol to disparage the supporters and the internet. They call it the final nail in a love's coffin and the end of an era. Story that used to be typical on reality TV. But how was this secret revealed to the world? Who released it to the public? For Jim, who has been in a downward spiral since Chrissy departed, what does this mean? Put on your seatbelt because this bombshell just tore everything apart. On the internet, the story was considered to have peaked. When Chrissy Lannon shocked the world by disclosing her secret wedding, Jim Jones was stunned and immobilized, on stage as though he had just received a sentence that would be the end of his future. Every blog and talk show had looked at that moment, and millions of replays had already been created. However, the unthinkable happened just as fans were beginning to catch their breath. The entire conversation was altered by a massive leak. Chrissy is not only her husband. Chrissy has a kid on the way. You heard right. The woman who spent 20 years waiting for Jim Jones to provide her with the family she had always dreamed of has revealed that she is expecting a child with Marcus, her new spouse, Bellamy. And when the word got out, there was total chaos. They began as murmurs. A blurry paparazzi photo of Chrissy exiting a Manhattan restaurant with Marcus with a big jacket surfaced despite the beautiful September night. When Chrissy's close friend made a mistake during an Instagram live, fans verified their assumptions by calling her radiant and finally starting a family. Fans had been wondering why she was hiding things all along. Within minutes, clips were ripped, reposted, and shared on Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. Congratulations to the new couple. Chrissy's glowing for a reason, was the statement that sparked the internet. The bloggers didn't waste any time rambling on. Hollywood Unlocked, The Room of Shade, Gossip of the City. All of them yelled headlines. Chrissy and Marcus Bellamy are expecting their first child together after the secret wedding announcement. The comment section sprang to life like fireworks. Supporters were divided, outraged, and furious. Some folks were happy. 20 years passed while she waited. Jim needed to give her a family. Marcus gave her one less than 2 years later. That's love. There were others to defend Jim. No, she is horrible for this. Jim gave his life for her. She turned around and gave his dream to someone else. But there was one thing clear. This story wasn't only widely accepted. This was a mix of anguish, heritage, and betrayal. Jim's answer. They all want that piece. He remained silent for hours. No studio selfies, Instagram tales, silence, or enigmatic tweets. But according to some close to his inner circle, the news had a greater impact on him than Chrissy's marriage announcement. A source who was with him in the studio that night said that Jim sat in the corner holding his phone and played the video of Chrissy's surprise over and over again until he finally declared, "I'm actually pregnant." Before they hurried out, there was a brief silence. Rumor had it that by midnight, Jim had called Freaky Zeke, crying and venting his aggravation. Believed that Chrissy had taken not only his lady, but also his final chance to start a family with her. What I have been begging for, she is giving him. According to Jim, the audio, which was made public a few hours later by a gossip blogger who said he got it from a close friend in Harlem, went viral among fans, demonstrating Jim's brokenness. Irreversible. At that time, Mama Jones, who of course was unable to resist, took over. She went live, from the kitchen, drinking a glass of wine and looking straight into the camera. Her speech was rambling. Regardless, no one speaks. A baby is a present. Yes, but don't act as though my child hasn't been fighting demons for the past 20 years. I love that woman. She went with another man to have a child. It's not good, believe me, I had to tell her straight out. Fans quickly interrupted her diatribe and published it on social media. Others grabbed Chrissy and said, "Blame your son, not the woman who left," while others assisted her in typing, "Mama, preach." Following the dispute, Chrissy and Team Jim trended once more, but this time the hashtag #JarChrissisBaby was trending internationally. Chrissy had defiled Jim. She disclosed in the published footage from the reunion afterward that she had miscarried years before, which was never made public until much later. But it was the history. Everyone remembered the pain Chrissy endured that truly shocked people to their core, not just the pregnancy itself. That Jim had been physically there but emotionally absent at that trying time. Fans played those old films to remind everyone that Chrissy had previously begged Jim for therapy and family commitment, but she never got it. Marcus had given her all she asked for in less than 2 years. Twitter was harsh, and Jim had nothing but silence, a husband, a ring, and a child. According to a well-liked tweet with 500,000, Jim Jones gave her 20 years of potential. For 2 years, Marcus introduced her to the outside world. "This ain't just a baby," someone else said, and Chrissy was begging for this family as Jim was busy flaunting his chains. Then the music rumors began to circulate, with fans claiming that Jim was in the studio working on another garbage song. Something even more personal than his recently, Instagram went viral with memes of Dipset album covers photoshopped with baby bottles, strollers, and cribs. I should have learnt about freestyle sooner. Video makers on TikTok used lullabibas to mock Jim's silence at Chrissy's wedding reveal, turning his grief into content for the internet. The public was unaware, however, that Chrissy's pregnancy had allegedly been leaked to Real Live's producers prior to the reunion. According to an unidentified crew member, Chrissy was feeling under the weather and requested that her scenes be shortened. Producers established the links but remained silent, allowing the wedding announcement to blow up before the pregnancy rumors circulated on their own. If true, it meant that they had purposefully set Jim up again, letting him be caught off guard again. Hip-hop and a long period of love. As a result of the dispute, which split the fan base, viewers began posting old recordings of Chrissy proposing to Jim in 2011 to compare them to the news of her pregnancy. Films of one knee side by side in 2011 were tweeted by one fan account. Chrissy was caressing her stomach in 2025. Caption: 14 years later, she shared that moment to someone else. Chrissy hadn't said anything yet, which was the most ridiculous thing of all. There was no post or confirmation, just silence, which just fueled speculation. Was it produced or was it real? One thing is certain, though. Was this just another outstanding production to keep the world interested? Jim Jones was going crazy. Heartbreak memes now showed a man who formerly prided himself on his Harlem toughness and dedication. The pregnancy bombshell not only caused him pain, but it also destroyed the reputation he had built over the years. After the news spread, one question dominated social media. If Chrissy is pregnant, how far will Jim go to get her back or ruin everything? When it comes to Jim Jones, silence never lasts long. For a whole day, the world was filled with whispers. Mama Jones made fun of the blog, which made it clear. Fans quarreled endlessly over it. Since a woman like Chrissy, who has never hesitated to voice her opinions, stays silent while the world burns to the ground, the story got louder when she herself kept silent. You know she's about to drop something major, and then she did out of the blue. The exact time was 8:07 p.m. Chrissy broke her silence with an Instagram picture that sent the globe into a frenzy. It was a picture of her hand with no words or tags, showing Marcus's palm gently covering hers, while the golden ring that was resting on her stomach shone in the fading light. In only a few seconds, the comments were exploding, with fans, bloggers, and celebrities all contributing something. "Mama, congratulations." "You deserve it all," Cardi B remarked. "Happiness," remarked Tamer Braxton. "Yes, a new chapter brings with it good things." Jim had been waiting for this moment for years, but the most powerful comments came from fans who had been following their affair for over a decade. It isn't simply a pregnancy, she told herself. Chrissy was crowned by the internet for his abdominal closure. She was ridiculed for waiting for a man for the first time in years. A team Chrissy was taking over Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, and she was getting a lot of accolades for deciding to be herself, moving on, and finally starting the family she had always wanted. She was accused of being nasty by some, yet there was a critic who was keen to discredit her for every admirer. Why humiliate Jim like this? She might choose to keep it private. Others say she was vindictive. She is showing off her joy in spite of him. But here's the thing. Chrissy didn't care since her silence